So the Fever are playing in Iowa, and the game sold out in literally, like, it didn't matter how long it took to sell out, you couldn't even get in. If you were there, you probably didn't get it.
Recall the time when everyone predicted that Caitlin Clark's supremacy would only last temporarily, and that the excitement would subside as soon as she entered the WNBA, and that her enormous college fan base would dissipate as soon as she left Iowa.
The Caitlin Clark fans are out in...
For those detractors, we have some bad news. They were completely mistaken.
Fans have filed in. The building is jam-packed.
Caitlin Clark for Indiana, who has been terrific, the #1 overall pick, who has been packing buildings all across.
In addition to being the most well-known figure in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark just did something so ridiculous that even billion-dollar companies would kill for her marketing team. She sold out Carver Hawkeye Arena in record time before the general public could even blink, much less purchase a ticket. To top it off, some fans were so eager to see her play that they paid $4,400 per ticket for a preseason game.
Before the national anthem and really realize how grateful I am and how unique it is.
It is pandemonium here, sold out once again for the Indiana.
Indeed, it is a preseason game rather than the WNBA Finals, a playoff match, or even the regular season. It is merely an exhibition. While some WNBA veterans have been pleading with fans to attend games for years, Caitlin Clark simply showed up and transformed a glorified warm-up into a spectacle worthy of the Super Bowl.
WNBA before that are now falling in love with maybe the Fever or other teams they watch or other players they watch, and for myself to be a part of that, like it's super special, and it kind of takes your breath away at points.
And that is what we refer to as immediate jealousy, my friends. When it comes to women's basketball, Caitlin Clark is the most expensive player. Not only does she sell out games, but she does so quickly that supreme sneaker drops appear to be clearance deals. Getting tickets to a show where Caitlin Clark is performing is less likely than getting a Essie to see Taylor Swift's AIS tour.
If you guys did not see it, look at the price of these tickets. This is like right after the tickets went on sale. So no good seats. $1,142 for a not very good seat. I'm guessing 10 grand minimum courtside to go see Caitlin Clark.
Consider this. She set attendance records in college, shattered ratings records in March Madness, sold out her first few WNBA games before anyone even knew tickets were available, and is now turning preseason games into Game 7 of the NBA Finals. This isn't a passing fad. Caitlin Clark is a haunting movement.
Hounding Clark. Clark, step back three, knocks it down!
The people who believe they should have been the face of women's basketball all along are the ones who detest it the most. If you believed Caitlin Clark was just another rookie, explain how she can sell out an arena at lightning speed while veterans are having trouble filling seats. She's doing to women's basketball what Michael Jordan did to the NBA and Tiger Woods did to golf. Not just any venue, Carver Hawkeye Arena is Clark's kingdom, where she created her iconic 3ES logo, carried Iowa on her back, and made defenders appear to be background dancers in a TikTok challenge. The internet went crazy as soon as people learned that Caitlin Clark would be playing in her old stadium against the Brazilian national team in a WNBA preseason game. Before most fans even realized the game was taking place, the stadium was completely sold out. Forget the waiting area. Forget presale access. This game vanished more quickly than a McDonald's limited edition meal, and let's not forget about the ticket prices. While some fans paid $4,400 for a seat, other WNBA teams have been giving away free tickets to get people in. You can already see the difference and anticipate the immediate jealousy of WNBA veterans who have been playing for years and have never experienced this level of excitement.
Them being able to contest.
And Stolke posting up, but you know who they go to. 22 from the outside.
Oh, this is going to happen quick.
Her team. Don't let this crowd get...
When Clark was drawing millions of people to women's basketball, they already had an issue because they didn't like that sponsors were lining up for her before she had ever played a professional game. And now she's selling out preseason games before they can even check the sales of their own jerseys. Indeed, there are league veterans who have never performed in front of a large crowd or previous MVPs who don't have half the endorsement deals, so it makes reasonable that there would be jealousy. There are seasoned WNBA players who have been vying for attention only to see Caitlin Clark dominate the league in her debut season. Now, some players are disparaging their side hustlers rather than accepting the fact that Caitlin Clark is bringing money and publicity to the league. But here's the cold truth. In addition to being well-liked, Caitlin Clark is also profitable, and the WNBA has never had a player as successful.
From Caitlin Clark.
Not to pick up the second because she got 2 in the first quarter against Connecticut.
Clark connects on a 3.
The major question is whether the WNBA can manage Caitlin Clark's fame, given the league has never had a player like her before, despite having some excellent players. Lisa Leslie Diana Terasai, the WNBA has been vying for attention for decades, pleading for bigger TV agreements and larger compensation, but none of them had the same level of mainstream appeal as Sue Bird. Suddenly, Caitlin Clark appears and provides everything they've been requesting.
Like, you could pack out a football stadium, again, just to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. You could pack out 50K. You could. Whatever the record is for a women's basketball game, you could set it to watch Caitlin Clark.
Teams throughout the league are rushing to rearrange their season ticket sales, changing entire game schedules, and even switching venues in the hopes that the WNBA will follow Caitlin Clark's lead to record-breaking revenue. In a last-ditch effort to capitalize on the enormous commercial appeal that comes with playing against Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is currently taking full advantage of the fact that wherever Caitlin Clark goes, money follows.
Crime right there in Mule's face.
Channel defense by the Sparks fans. 6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep 3.
Oop, that is!
She missed her first 7 and knocks that one down, and it's a big...
Your typical arena at home, the 4,200-person capacity of the entertainment and sports stadium is adequate for regular games. But a game against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, the Mystics, are transferring their May and September games against the Fever to the Capital One Arena, which has 20,000 seats, because Caitlin Clark is such a big deal. Yes, that tiny arena wouldn't cut it.
Giroux turns, ducks in. Back Benley stays with her. Blocked from behind. That was Clark. Now Clark looking to push. Cross-court pass. Pull. Back to Clark. She will launch and bury it.
The Mystics didn't move arenas for Diana Taysai, Sue Bird, or even Brittany Griffin after she returned from Russia, but they are upgrading Caitlin Clark to an NBA-sized venue, which says it all about her influence at this point. It's hard to dispute. The WNBA's golden goose, Caitlin Clark, is not only driving demand for tickets and drawing spectators to games, but she is also independently increasing the league's revenue.
Or what was it? It was like Oasis tickets for Ireland. They were like, oh, it sold out within 4 hours. And I'm like, I spent 3 hours hitting refresh, and couldn't get in.
The WNBA has been pleading for this for decades. For years, the league has had trouble getting fans to purchase tickets, pay attention to games, and care. But Caitlin Clark is taking care of all of that overnight, and she's doing it in ways the WNBA has never seen before, as attendance is soaring. Sales of merchandise are surging, TV ratings are smashing records, and ticket prices are skyrocketing. A Caitlin Clark game costs as much as an NBA playoff ticket.
Thing you can do as a defender is not give it to her.
Clark.
Back-to-back triple.
She wasn't going to be able to see Katie Lou after last night's game, so today, really the first time they're seeing her.
Clark.
Because if Caitlin Clark ever decides she's too big for this league, you will only have yourselves to blame. Let's be clear, the 2024 WNBA season is not just highly anticipated, it's the most anticipated season in league history. While teams and owners are contentedly counting their profits, some WNBA veterans are sitting back steaming with jealousy. Will you, WNBA, Embrace your golden goose, or will jealousy ruin the best thing that has ever happened to you?
An 8-3 rebounding advantage. Clark pulls, fires, hits, 4-3.
3 in the first quarter, the Mystics. Clark way downtown, knocks down a 3.
And the Caitlin Clark effect is the result of a single player, not Angel Ree, Aya Wilson, or even historical figures like Diana Taysai or Subbird.
Immediately following the game, let's hear it one more time for number 22, Caitlin Clark.
Before she even plays her first official WNBA game, she has already sold out arenas more quickly than playoff games. No other rookie, not even the most anticipated draft pick in history, has ever attracted this much attention before taking the court. Now, let's address the big issue. For months, Reese and her camp have attempted to build a rivalry with Caitlin Clark in the hopes of riding the wave of Clark's success. She has continuously mentioned Caitlin Clark in every interview, tweet, and podcast. If Caitlin Clark breeds, Angel Reese has something to say about it, and it's clear why, as no matter how much she says, she will never be Caitlin Clark.
Anna Bonner and Natasha Howard are playing their first game at Iowa. Like, do you guys not understand how crazy those fans?
It's not even close in terms of global influence on ticket sales, TV ratings, and commercial appeal. Women's basketball has reached a level that Angel Reese could only imagine thanks to Caitlin Clark, and the more Reese attempts to impose a rivalry, the more blatant it becomes. This is more than just media buzz. Caitlin Clark is in her own league. Caitlin Clark's popularity is supported by her remarkable on-court supremacy. She broke records that stood for decades while leading the NCAA in scoring and assists in a national championship with viewership higher than the NBA Finals. The WNBA is actually reorganizing its economic model around her because of this, and no other player, past or present, can compare to her level of excitement and excitement. Fans are spending hundreds of dollars just to watch her play in an exhibition game.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized.
Reese, Angel nobody, though other players are tweeting and podcasting about her. Caitlin Clark is out there making history. I don't really get to stand up for myself because the WNBA needs Caitlin Clark more than Caitlin Clark needs the WNBA. She's the reason teams are selling out before the season even begins, and the reason casual fans are finally tuning in, giving the WNBA its biggest financial opportunity ever.
It's the way to push the ball in transition.
Oh, that's not gonna waste. 3 and some change left to play here in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark pulls it back.
Because Kay Clark comes first, followed by everyone else. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay tuned.
Fans have filed in. The building is jam-packed.
Caitlin Clark for Indiana, who has been terrific, the #1 overall pick, who has been packed.